Hello and welcome. These are indeed trying times for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as a festering leadership crisis is threatening to tear the main opposition party apart. After Governor Nyesom Wike's failure to emerge the party's presidential flag bearer or the vice presidential candidate of his party, some aggrieved members of the party in Wike's camp started a resistance saying major positions in the party should not be dominated by the North. Now, the entire crisis eventually narrowed down to calls for the resignation of the incumbent national chairman of the party, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, as a condition for peace in the troubled party. But after the recent National Executive Council meeting of the party, chairman of the party's board of trustees, Walid Jibrin, resigned from his position, and a party leader from the southeastern part of the country and former Senate President Adolphus Wabara was appointed in his place. But this move did not seem to appease Governor Wike and his camp. The Rivers State governor says the resignation of the BOT chair is inconsequential, insisting that the national chairman of the party must go. Take a listen now to what the governor said.
When the North Central met in the house of Governor Bala Muhammad, the governor of Bauchi State, he said so there. When he made the caucus of the Senate, he told them that when we finish our convention on a Saturday to Sunday, the candidate of the party came to see me in my house in Abuja on Monday, around 10:30 a.m. And that's what I don't like in this country. The candidate told me, I said, listen, I want us to work together. And then he said, look, you must go. I said, why? He said, because when a candidate comes from the north, the chairman will come from the south. And I'm saying, implement what you told me. What offense have I committed? What offense have I committed? And people are just, wicked. It is nothing to do with wicked. It's not to do with integrity. This is what you told me. I challenge the president candidate to deny this. If he denies this, I go further to say so many things to Nigerians. Because enough is enough. We can't continue this way. They have today told the BOT chairman to resign. Who is talking about chairman of BOT? What is the role of the BOT? BOT is an advisory body. We have never zoned BOT. BOT is an advisory body. BOT is not a decision-making body. Those who run, as it is today, is the presidential candidate or president and chairman of the party. The chairman of the party and the candidate or president, as the case may be, are those who will sit down and take decision. The candidate is from the north. The chairman is from the north. Who will represent the south in decision making? You have told the BOT chairman to resign. So you are not agreeing with us that this thing cannot be in one place. But what we are saying, the position we are talking about, which all of us agree, is the chairman of the party.
Now, it remains to be seen how the party's leadership will respond to Governor Wike's demand, because at the recent National Executive Council meeting, the NEC actually passed a vote of confidence on the Iyorchia Ayu now-led National Working Committee of the party, obviously sending a strong message to the Rivers State governor and his group that Ayu is going nowhere, at least not for now. We're watching the whole drama very keenly. Somehow, something will have to give sooner than later. But let's delve further now into this. I'm being joined on the program from Abuja by Dr. Kach Ononuju, who is a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. Dr. Ononuju, thank you very much for joining us on the program. You heard what Governor Wike said there, and it's certainly not a good thing that your party is heading to the 2023 general election facing this kind of crisis.
Well, it's not a good thing. Nobody likes it. But of course, we're right now troubled with this. And we believe we can never have more than we can handle. The issue is not impossible. It came upon us creepingly. We never knew there was an agenda. But now we have discovered there's an agenda. it behoves upon us to act properly. And that's why a lot of us from the Southern caucus of the party have come together to say, what do we now do? We need to holistically look at the country and see what's going on. The PDP seems to be more positioned to ask the questions. We have had our own share of blames for the conspiracy of silence and the Buhari's employment of nepotism, and even, as I would say, weaponization of nepotism, which has gotten us to where the country has not actually liked it. So we now suspect the creeping of such behaviors into the PDP. And that's why we raise our voice. If nepotism was used by Buhari in the APC-led administration, I think we should show that we're different by fighting against it.
When you say there's an agenda, what kind of agenda would you mean? And who would be the people who have this agenda?
Well, what we have seen is an agenda to make sure the Northerners do not lose power to the South. It was beautifully executed, and we are simply reacting. That's what you must understand. We, the members of the caucus of the party from the North, the South, are reacting, having found out that agenda. And of course, we were not very strong. We had people underdo us. We had people sabotage the Southern position, which we even pushed by having declarations in Asaba and Lagos. But as you can see, our brothers in the North were able to plant what I will call snitches in the Southern area, and they got it. So now that they have the ticket, we are demanding for inclusion. Since they would demand that we will campaign with them, we want to be able to tell our people in the South, since we run a representative democracy, that we represent their interests, not like those who went behind to represent their own personal interests. No, we seek to represent the interests of the South. Despite the mistakes some of our members may have made previously, now we think we can only win when we learn to behave like the North behaved. The North were together as a team at the PDP's primaries. So I don't think anything would be wrong if we, the people from the South, also as a caucus, learn to demand and act together for the interests of the entire South.
But would you say those of you in the South are acting as one as we speak? Because whether we like it or not, the vice presidential candidate of your party is from the South, and those who are in support of him are not in support of what the Governor Wike's camp is doing.
That is true. You are very, very correct. You should also see how the vice president came. The vice president did not come as a consequence of Southern decision or as a consequence of Southern collective presentation. No. It was some members of the North caucus came into the South and tricked one or two of us to not listen to the general Southern agenda, but to work with them as snitches. And then, as they say, the rest is history. So we believe, even though we may have been outplayed at those opening games, we want to now come together, because there's no way we can win when we go our individual ways. No, you can't. If you go individual ways, you'll be taken apart. And like you rightly stated, when you are captured, you'll be presented as somebody from the South. No. The Southern caucus, when they speak as one voice, as we're currently speaking, demanding that the South be also included in the affairs of the party. And now there are two positions. It's been that way historically. And now that the Northerners have taken the tickets, we demand that we also be given a decision-making position like the chairmanship.
Now Dr. Onanuju, what is wrong? What is wrong in waiting until after the election? when, for instance, if by
What
chance
is-
you
what
win
is
the
wrong?
election, when
Well,
Atiku,
we fear.
if Atiku wins, why not wait until after the election before you demand for a change in the chairmanship position of the party?
Good. Our people in the South have told us that we will not be able to speak to them if we do not represent their interests. And that currently in the PDP, they want to see signs that they are part and parcel. Those of us that want to represent ourselves may simply cut private deals, but no. The South need to be carried along in the PDP. Let the South not stay away and allow the nepotism that has become standard in the APC to now be carried over to the PDP. So we want to be able to tell our people in the South that we are part and parcel of the party, that we also represent their interests, and that this is what is given to us on behalf of them. That's the problem.
But
How can you convince them to vote?
with the arrangement of things in your party, even if Ayu leaves today,
Yes.
the man who is in line to succeed him is also from the north. How do you deal with that?
That's just allow us. We have done this before. We have this issue. It is caused by the insistence of members of the Northern Caucus who left the party in 2014, went and founded a coalition calling themselves NPDP, and then built a coalition movement with other Nigerians called the APC and bettered the Buhari presidency. After Buhari's 8 years, they have managed to come to the PDP back and to seize the ticket. We are asking now to be included in the scheme of things. We simply demand that the South be given the chairmanship since the North currently have the presidential ticket. Don't ask us as a party how we will do it. We can do it. We've done this severally. Don't get involved in the emotions. No. We want to represent our people so that we can go back and tell them to vote for our party. How can you tell the people you represent to vote for your party when they see that you're not part and parcel of the party's organogram in regards to power sharing? You cannot do that.
Now as a political strategist yourself, do you think it is cricket to change the party chairmanship just as you're approaching an election? Do you think that is a wise thing to do?
Yes, to save the party, to pretentiously emplace a strategy for unity. To on your own do that which you should do if you parrot rhetorics like you are the unifier. You can't be the unifier and you exist in a system where there is no equity. If there is no equity, there will be no justice. If there's no justice and equity, there will be no unity. There cannot be. You cannot wish for it to occur. You can't damage the Southerners. You can't undermine their pride. You can take away that which they think they need to feel part of the enterprise and still demand that they work for the enterprise. That's not that is slavery. We're not slaves in the PDP. We're Nigerians. We're partners in the job of nation building.
Just before I let you go, the party at the recent National Executive Council meeting, you saw that the party leadership, the NEC, actually passed a vote of confidence now on the National Working Committee of the party led by Ayu. Obviously passing a vote of confidence on Ayu, and somehow, if you like, sending a message to those of you on the other side that, look, Ayu doesn't go anywhere. How do you deal with that?
Well, historically, we're very used to the antics of those who want to save a chairman. We are experts and veterans in getting rid of chairman when the time is due. Before the NEC votes, there is normally accreditation. There was no accreditation. Dignitaries came in with their PAs and SAs and escorts. Cameramen were in, pressmen in, and then that announcement was made and you had, yay! That's like a staging.
But that's the way you've always done it anyway. That's the way the party has always done it.
That is not true. The way the party does it, people come in, the party will talk, then the party will ask people to leave. When the people leave, the party will now close the door. That is after accreditation of NEC members. NEC members will vote. Secondly, you saw the BOT chairman resign. That means they understand that our complaints for lack of equity
but is that
real.
not also a concession to your group? But that's also a concession to your group, isn't it?
That's not what we're asking for. We're asking to be included in decision-making bodies of the party, not advisory bodies. When you have the presidency, and then you have the chairmanship as the party itself. So we want to be included at that top echelon of the party. We, the Southern Caucus. There are Southerners that will tell you they are okay with it. Those are people looking at the emergence of a candidate and advantages to be had should we win. But we cannot win if we're divided. We cannot win if this cockiness now develops even before we've gone to election. We cannot win because every house divided falls. So we need to set properly the protocols that will ensure victory. And that protocol is unity. And you cannot have unity without equity. You cannot have peace if there is no justice. We are simply ask that return the PDP back to a Nigerian National Party, not a Northern People's Development Party. No, it's not.
All right.
We want it to be the National Party, not a Northern Party.
All right. Dr. Kachan Oniju, thank you so very much for your time with us, and thank you for your insights.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so very much. Well, we'll take a short break now, and we'll be right back. Stay with us, because we'll come back to continue discussion now on this very controversial subject. Don't go away.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.